Hello everyone, this is Here's Trivia. Welcome back to another episode of our legendary historical Cao Cao Let's Play. We continue for episode 3 from turn 9 in the spring season of the year 192. So as we hop back in, we have secured Dong. Technically a turn late compared to historical timings, but we're fine. We'll assume it's a New Year present. And we have Huangshao on the run. His army's been beaten, and if we fight them again, they actually get wiped. But I don't think we have movement, so it's going to be fine. We're going to revamp our armies, and we're also going to be planning our next steps. We are supposed to be skirmishing with Taotian throughout 192 towards winter, which is when we inherit or take over the Qingzhou Army Corp. And how that happened is basically there's a surge of Yellow Turban disturbance in the Qing province, which is a little area of Pingyuan coming down over here, all the way in the Donglai Peninsula. This entire region is called the Qing province. And they had a surge of Yellow Turban rebels in the area. And it caused a lot of issues, and they started flooding out. Basically, think of it as a refugee situation, people who are out of food, desperate people, displaced population from their farms, and they took up the former banner of the Yellow Turbans, which has been gone for about a decade now, and they basically became these looters and bandits, and they started to attack the Yan province, and the local Yan province leadership tried to resist, but was killed, and there was an officer named Bao Xin, who knows Cao Cao personally from their coalition days, and invites Cao Cao into the Yan province to fight these Yellow Turbans. That's called the Qingzhou Army Corp later on, because they originated from Qingzhou. And Cao Cao was able to negotiate a deal with them after fighting them for a period in the winter of 192, as he offered them land and food if they promised to fight for him. So Cao Cao basically got a huge influx of population, I think around 100,000 total population. But from that, well, actually, no, I think it's 1 million in terms of population, because the units the Chinese use is 10,000 as a base unit, so it's a little bit higher. So it's 1 million people. This includes, you know, elderly, children, women. And from this group, he picked out 300,000 families that were deemed fit to fight. And this group were basically given these Tuntian lands. And they are supposed to farm this land. 60 to 80% of the food that they farm goes towards the army. The rest they keep for their family. The ratio depends on if you had things yourself. So there were public, basic cows people used to plow. If you didn't have a cow yourself, then obviously you have to give up more of your crops because you sort of rented equipment of sorts. And then when you have capable males in the family during times of war, you were drafted or conscripted to fight. And fathers fought, and then sons fought. And this system went on throughout Cao Cao's life. The Qingzhou Army Corps became sort of Cao Cao's main troop. Widows of, or basically widows in general, were expected to marry back into these Tuntian farms to kind of continue these families. And then you had emperors later on that kind of broke this rule, Cao Rui in particular, but that's way in the future. They eventually left Cao Cao's service after Cao Cao's death. Cao Pi could not really control them, and they wanted to go home. They felt like they've been fighting for almost 3 decades for Cao Cao, and the moment Cao Cao died, they wanted to go back to Qingzhou. And in the beginning, Cao Pi wanted to stop them by force because this felt like a mutiny, but under Jia Xu, who was the first Grand Commandant of the dynasty of Wei, kind of calmed down that situation and granted them access to go home, gave them food and supplies on the way, and sort of just had a smooth transition. Because by that time, it was a huge loss, but the Wei army didn't really need them as much as Cao Cao needed them now. So we're going to be recruiting those units into our armies once we reach the winter of 192. Technically fighting some Yellow Turbans here, even though it's Huangshao. We're going to pretend that they're Qingzhou units just so that we can sort of roleplay this historical scenario. We have a level up here. Danwei is going to pick up Reach for more movement. We're going to get rid of some of these militia units. It's going to free up a lot of our upkeep. Now the cavalry, even though it's great, the amount of time it would take for them to replenish and how much we had to pay in upkeep, just not worth it. it's better if we just save a few turns of upkeep now and then end up re-recruiting them later. We also have 2 new schemes thanks to our new spy positions. And we can do things perhaps like self-army boost for armies that currently have no movement. So technically we can give one of these armies a movement and we can wipe them out, which actually is really good because we don't want them on the field. So this army here, I think we can give them a quick boost. Now, because it's a positive event, we actually want to do a diplomacy deal before that. We don't want to waste any points. We increase our rank. We're now second marquis, so now we can technically form coalitions. There's not really a coalition partner we want to be in. We can technically join, say, Yuan Shao's coalition. That would make sense historically, but then we would have to break it to create our own artificial Guandu, and that's just going to be extra work. We don't want to do that. No one seems really friendly around us. Liu Bei might have some items we can get. He still has that armor. He has a limited roster of characters, so that's why he might have overflowed. I can also use credibility to change opinions, although I would argue this is not so good. Basically, we can, say, improve his opinion of us with this deal. And if we look at it, it's 30 points, right? Which, on paper, 25 for 30 feels okay. But if we just do a regular deal and we pay 25, which is 2.5, it's not showing anything because it's not currently an actual valid deal since he's not giving us anything back. Let's say we asked him for like 1. It's still not showing the change, but essentially we can use this value to create that change, or at least get similar values back and then still get something on top of it. So it's better to just do something like this. Think of it as like a gift payment. If we do a gift payment, he's going to like us a bit, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. So we want to spend about 20 points. He doesn't have that many good items. What about other people? What about... We're trading with all our neighbors. I don't want him to like us too much. We could take a stone pig. It's honestly not bad. It will reduce recruitment cost with the amount of instinct it's going to add. 7.7. Just the value is so skewed. I guess we can just get cash with our deals. I'm assuming Yuan Shao is the richest faction we know. So let's say we give him 20. And then he gives us some cash back. Just so we don't end up wasting these. Alright. And we'll go ahead and use our scheme. Oh, it has to be... What's the requirement? Below 10%. Okay, we're just going to move them below 10%. And then we scheme them. They're going to be fatigued in this battle. We want them to join, so we're actually going to march this group up. Have them fight this. Ah, there's Yuan Shao. And this we can just delegate. It's all generals. We can recall them. They'll instantly full heal. There's no need. There's no duels. There's no experience share here. We are interested in taking this, but we probably will do it with our real army. And we can think about redeployment a bit later. We do get a reform. We actually have a school in Dong. That is a gift. This timing, we don't have to build our own school. We can get rid of it. It's not a very good building to have early on. So being able to get private tutor out of the way, just so that we can come up and get this and eventually unlock the Silk Road, and also access to a bunch of spy-related ones up here. Definitely worthwhile for us, since each spy means a pawn. What else can we do? Lower satisfaction seems to be okay as well. All the commandery ones are enemy base, public order issue only. There's not a lot of self-boost for commanderies. For factions, we already nailed all of that. If the salary is too rich, we could drop it. We can drop the retinue upkeep. This one's interesting because we can actually create a situation where the salary is too rich to reduce their retinue upkeep. But we'll be losing local population, so it's not the best. Now this is not good either for us. I think this is the only one that we can sort of do. We do sleep with her, historically. Gets our son killed. He is Zhang Ji's aunt. Widowed aunt. Not widowed yet. Well, Zhang Ji's wife, Zhang Xiu's widowed aunt. And Zhang Ji works for Dongzhuo historically, but he's not in the game, I don't think so. Yeah, our choices are pretty limited there too. Feels kind of bad to not use it. We could really mess with someone, drop their food by like 20, that hurts. Make someone look bad. Now the thing is, how does this help us directly? Not really. It doesn't really help us directly. We can keep one available, I guess. Never hurts to have options. Yeah, we'll keep one available. We don't have to use everything all at once. We also should assign some administrators, but we're going to be doing a few teardowns, a few conversions. Conversions will not get cheaper. The difference between the Han version and the old Turban is that we get the synergetic reduction of cost, which means purple buildings will reduce the cost of blue buildings, and blue building reduce the cost of green buildings. Green building reduce the cost of red buildings. It's based on the 5 elements or the 5 phases. We'll tag that. We'll throw an administrator in here. Now, for those who are curious about the historical assignments, the person who becomes the administrator of Dong right now is Cao Cao himself. And Yuan Shao is going to appoint that. So technically that appointment is not legit. Essentially, we are rebels. The central court is controlled by Dongzhuo. No one's going to be appointing us. So we're sort of appointing ourselves. And basically, we have our friends nudge and give us, you know, the job because we took it by force. Yu Jin is going to have all the required skills to boost income here, and we're going to slap him in here for now. And that's going to help reduce costs when we do build here. It's going to be a key to our income going forward. It's also a port, which means we should have access to more trade partners if we had more trade routes available. So we'll see if we have more trade agreements that we can add. We also have another administrator position, so wherever we want to build up, most likely in Chen, since we have an empty slot, we can do a few different things. We can throw someone like Yuan Huan in here, and we get the construction cost discount for all the green buildings. We already constructed most of the green buildings. When we do upgrade these, that will come in handy. Right now, he's doing assignment, which is fine. The default choices early on is probably our Sentinel, since it just reduces the cost, and that's exactly what we are looking for. Just having cheaper buildings by 30%, by 25%, and the one that we just recruited, I think Yu Jin has even higher. He disappears from here for this turn. It's a slightly annoying bug, but we can find him here, and we can open him this way. Only 19% here. It's because his weapon doesn't add additional expertise stat. We don't really have anything that can help that. We don't have a lot of items. But at least he'll be boosting income. This assignment is still good for many turns. I think we do keep him on assignment and we just throw a 25% here. -5 public order, that's okay. We're going to trigger some rebellions with our tax collection anyways, and then we'll just fight the rebels. So let's throw him in there. And we're going to recall them or keep this army around to attack this, because we can reach by marching. This group, I think, will recall and resummon elsewhere. We'll keep these two armies together for now. We'll do some swapping. I think I want Dianwei with Cao Cao as the bodyguard group. Xiahou Dun, Xiahou Yuan stay together. We'll give them someone else in their party. and then we'll throw Cao Ren and Zan Ba in this area to defend Dong. Something like that. We'll figure out some sort of distribution. Alright, State Workshop. Definitely the first thing we built here. And I think we are mostly good. This upgrade kicks in next turn. And then we gotta decide if we want to tax this place or not. We want to flip this, but we probably want another building in here quicker. We could go with our faction unique building, which is our Twin Tian conscription. This is the exact system I just described that Cao Cao used for the Qingzhou units, as well as other groups. There were Twin Tian systems all around. This was just a way to redistribute a lot of the abandoned farmland, because this was a period of upheaval and you had a lot of abandoned land, and basically the troops can farm on the downtime and the food can go to the army afterwards as well. And if we look at the building, we get 2 extra basic tiers that usually is not available. Most factions just end at tier 3, and we get extra bonuses like movement range and synergetic discounts. So you can see the construction cost discounts for agricultural garrisons, which are basically just counties. So if we built this in Chen, for example, the synergy of the cheap farmland upgrade is going to be super impressive. And the main use of this is just having more seasonal redeployments. We can summon more generals every turn, and we can also reduce the cost of redeployment faction-wide so that basically we have free teleporting armies all around. We can just redeploy all across, speed things up. Also boost food production. It's a solid building. I think in a settlement like Chen, we do go for it just because of the synergies. And that is going to do it, I think. We're happy with this army. I don't think we're going to add to it because we have to fight. But after the fight, we can think about upgrading this army a little, redistribute the generals a little, like we mentioned. And let's continue. A lot of the army buildup is going to wait for getting the Qingzhou units in winter. But we do have to keep an eye out for potential attack by Tao Tian, because we don't want to lose any battles. Local hero Yang Chou. He found the left. He ditched. He's willing to spy, so he's not a spy. He just ditched. Okay. These are interesting values. Cao Cao never actually fought Kongrong. Kongrong was destroyed by Yuan Shao's son, Yuan Tan, and then went to join Cao Cao's court. The two didn't get along politically, but like I said, not a terrible relationship. I mean, he voluntarily came to us. We eventually executed him because he was constantly attacking our plans. He realized we were not a loyalist, and he was. As a descendant of Confucius himself, definitely believed in the court structure, the societal structure, how to be an official, be loyal to your emperor, and we were none of that. That's a good amount of money. We do like that. This seems very favorable as well. We have a food deal that will expire in 2 turns. We might wait for those 2 turns and then do that. Any interesting... No, we're probably going to keep one available on us. Mifao might have items. Yeah, he has a silver armor. That gold is bounded to him. We can't take that armor off. There is a small item here. I mean, given Mifao's armor, I think we do hire him. Oh, we did rank up and get core positions when we didn't assign them. We could have done Faction Council last turn. That was a small mistake. Let's grab the armor. And then, unfortunately, he's not rank 4. If he was rank 4, we can get money back with the banish. We're going to banish him. Like, maybe we can send him as a spy to Liu Bei's faction and then just disband him, but that's too much work. And plus, Mifang eventually betrays Liu Bei as well. He's the reason Guan Yu died. Well, a big reason why Guan Yu died. What to build here? That's the question. There's no technical income from the county, so we can build whatever we want. Technically, this is just the support location. So something like this makes sense, even though right now we don't technically need this. We can just go base income buildings, all 3 versions. It's just a bad location, to be honest. Forges. Yeah, we can do this and make it a recruitment center with the local rank up. It's not terrible. It doesn't make money, so I guess we do this first, right? So we're not really utilizing that slot. They're quickly trying to defend this. Not gonna matter. We're gonna put them under siege unless we can reach them. We can. I don't think we need help. Now let's make sure we have the job positions next time. This gives industry boost. And this gives military boost. We're gonna throw Xiaohodun in at least one of those positions. Ah, we beat Coron here. Hold on, we're gonna move our other generals here. Or else Coron was gonna grab this. Now, can we trade with him after we take this? That's the other key. So we'll fight that. Worried about getting attacked over here. So we're gonna summon our other 2 generals here. Just to join the garrisons. They give us a fighting chance. We're not gonna give them any units at this point. We're not gonna overflow. We're exactly at the limit. We can make this fight a little bit easier, I think. There is this option where we can lower the morale by 20 points. This makes our fight a little bit easier. 7-turn cooldown. We don't really need it. Let's keep our options open. We'll fight this. There's a chance we can duel her, pick up some more experience. We still have 0 strategists. I mean, at this point, historically, we had people like Cheng Yu, who was our strategist. He just never got artwork in the game and kind of floats out there randomly until we can pick him up. Guojia haven't joined us yet, and then we mentioned Qingzhou, who is not in the game. This is probably where we want to fight it. Also where our units are coming from. They're still invisible, by the way. Let's get our generals over here, and then we'll figure out a way in. Most likely with our generals. It's going to be some sort of spear unit or whatnot guarding the front. Once we take control of this gate, we can move our army up and use them a little bit more, even though this is a very tough map because of that bridge. Lots of towers, lots of potential damage. Yeah. Do they have anything else? They have more than just that, right? Yep. Let's go. We charge at this. Pick up a duel. Want to get Danwei more experience. Do us the honor and dismount, please. Oh, is he already dismounted by the initial charge? Then we just slap. Nice and circular, please. There we go. Once we lose our melee evasion boost, we will get Danwei to boost it again. Yep. We'll get the ones who are still on horseback to chase the archers a little bit. We don't want anyone to fall back to the square. Also dismounted. Tarya also dismounted. We battle our way back. Want to do a slap. Now.
敌军四散而逃，到底是无胆鼠辈！杀！听命，片甲不留。
Do we have this gate? Not yet. They just have too much unit weight on it. I think we're about to. Yeah, there we go. Now we can get some help. Don't let them run away. Alright, here we come. Want to give our cavalry a little boost in case any of those archer units shoot us from the back. Alright, Danwei, we're gonna leave you. You're fine. Should get an execute soon. Alright, off with her head. And we get our win. That went pretty smoothly in terms of keeping casualty off our units. Alright, can we trade with Cornwall here? No. Seems like he has used up... Oh, we have used up all our trade slots. So he still has open trades. If we can secure ourselves another trade agreement through reforms, we can make it happen. Alright, picked up the determined trait. It's gonna be fine. We are going to reorganize the army a little bit. We're gonna pop Cao Cao out, and we're gonna pop Yue Jin in. This works, and this works. Although Cao Yuan we're gonna pop out later as well. We're gonna send this army back. Cao Cao and Danwei will be alone until we pick up a strategist for them. I think that's the goal here. I want to get an in building here quickly. It's going to be the industry and commerce synergy here between the buildings. We do want to upgrade this when we do get a chance. We get it in. This is going to be commerce heavy. Faction-wise satisfaction, we don't really need it. We are pretty happy all around. We'll just pick up some cash there. They have the port. Everything we can do to them. Nothing that we really need. We can maybe spur a rebellion, and then we can take the land. We can also consider buying it. It's not the hardest thing to do. 20 points. There's things we can do to try to make that happen. Get a spy in Cornwall's faction. I don't think there's anyone in Cornwall's faction that we want, so we can skip that. And I think we're good. He wants the armor that we traded for 1,000. No, we paid 1,000 to recruit the guy. Yeah, Cornwall goes back. See a little counterattack. He's in Henei. We'll keep him alive there. That's not really our target until the year 200. Dongzhuo is killed. We should get a civil war event. Wow. So this southern faction got wiped by Wu Tugu, and that's why she's available here and has a grudge. We don't need her. We do need to spend our credibility. It's going to overflow next turn. Maybe a scheme. Administrators, every building that's built gives you 1,000 XP. This gives us faster tenacity of steel, but this gives us night battle. Kind of torn, actually. Capture rate isn't bad either. Let's just go get tenacity, make him a stronger duelist, and also more expertise for cost reduction here. This army needs to speed back to Pengcheng. But we want to heal along the way as well. This army needs to go prepare the war on the western front. But we're dropping Cao Ren. The reason why we have more movement is because they have infantry and we're carrying all cavalry basically. We want to swap some guys with them, but I don't want to leave it undefended, so we'll just patiently wait for next turn. We got our prestige boost, we got our satisfaction boost, things are looking good. I guess we do get this. If we are recruiting units, we might be recruiting in Pengcheng going forward. State Workshop, still a very good first build. We don't have another administrator position, but that would have been good. Here's where the upgrades get a little iffy. I think technically we should build something like this, but this is also a free build, especially since we're trying to juice up the public order problem given the administrator we picked. So this is going to be fine. We'll just keep taxing it and we'll set up a defense. Cao Cao will be there to take care of that. Is the food deal? No, one more turn. Wait for the food deal to expire. And we can't really spend our credibility, unfortunately. 4 points. Get a small deal. With who?
欢迎朋友.
It's already trending up. Alright, this is the only deal we kind of want to make. And we only want to give up like 5 amount, or I mean we can give up 10, it's not a big deal. We don't have much except for the armor that we can trade away. And then it's just basic cash payment at that point, right? We can buy it straight up. But we're gonna pass. We're gonna hold off that. We're just gonna overflow for 4 points. I think that's, we can't cash that out anywhere. Dongzhuo's death. Dongmin, with the MTU mod, has his artwork and unique ability. He will offer us peace, but we have to become his vassal. Definitely no. The current peace value. I can be at war with him. He's not going to be trouble. Especially, we should see a civil war event trigger. And then we had to figure out a way to get the Emperor, which is also going to be kind of tricky. Alright, we got a free item. Trespassing. This army is going to go down there and fight them. Still missing a little bit of replenishment, so we're going to send them over. But it's so little. It's probably best we just move into that defensive position so we can shift people around more. Just put them here. We want to do a general swap. We're going to give Cao Ren over. This army will be in charge of defending this area. Oh, Cao Ren doesn't like working with Zanba. He also doesn't like working with Dianwei. Okay, that's fine. He's supposed to be in this region historically, so we're going to keep him in this region. And then we're just going to do the bodyguard and friend here, and we're going to go west and attack He Yi with just these two until we pick up our strategists. We are in no rush. If they're defending this area, they should defend it here, because this is the more vulnerable place. But we can probably extend our movement a little bit, end up in here. No one has reach in this army, so we're going to keep the highest ranked as a leading officer. I should go dual weapon with him. And then this does the most damage. They both have their gear. They all have their gear, so we are good. We are probably going to give them a real army here, and then we're going to put them here and also recruit. We're waiting for that winter turn, which is happening, and then we're going to get our Qingzhou units, and then we move out. Food deal has expired with him, so we're going to throw that one food right back in his face. We're going to throw some credibility at him, probably a good amount. Oh, no, one food, used the wrong one. And then we're going to add in a non-aggression pack, which is positive, and all this is going to mean some cash, because I don't... Well, we can actually try for this. 6.5. It's dropped a little. The pinion shift is based on his attitude towards us. It's actually trending down, so that's not good. We can throw this in. We don't need it. And we can add in another 10 points. And still request some cash back. Okay. The Stone Pig is going to be more useful for us, especially as we look to recruit. We are also going to look to assign a Grand Commandant for a discount before we do that. This army, I'm going to recruit some Qingzhou units here, going to recruit some Qingzhou unit here. It's going to be the most flushed out army because we do have this nice, lovely General of the Right bonus. We're going to throw more Instinct on him. Let's throw some more Instinct on Xiahou Dun. And we can throw a little bit more authority on... Actually, let's do Lady Bian, because Cao Cao doesn't take advantage of the satisfaction on that item, as he is faction leader, cannot be any more satisfied with himself. Now for this upgrade, I think we would want 40 increase plus 25% versus just the 20 increase plus a 15%. Same amount of turns, more expensive, but I think this is a better investment here. Get more movement. We get that extra season, no retinue redeployment bonus. It's a little pricey, to be honest. Might opt for just a little bit more income first. Alright, that's going to do it for us. Any new turncoats? Nope. Like, we're comfortable above 75 points here. We don't really need Imperial favor at this point. Waiting for the Emperor to really come into his own. Cao Xian has a huge stack coming. We're back right on time. He's willing to pay for military. That's fine with me. Cao Cao never attacked Liu Chong historically, Prince of Chen, which neighbored Cao Cao. Basically, he was assassinated and killed by Yuan Shu, and then we chased Yuan Shu away from his place and we took over after that. So that makes total sense, and we will get paid some more. Might not be the max. Okay, 10 more. There we go. That's the war we want to see. We want to bring Yuan Shu closer to us so that we can declare war on him in 193 spring. So next turn. We had a random daughter. It's also had plenty of random daughters that eventually married the Emperor. We can see if we can make that happen as well. Probably nothing we need right away. We're going to assign our Corp positions. Xiahou Dun's going to come here. He has the highest rank, so he has the highest desire for higher office, and therefore if we give him this position, it solves that problem for us. It's going to be an extra 250, but 10% recruitment cost is going to be worthwhile for us, especially as we are recruiting this turn. And then for the other position, we don't need it this turn, but we definitely need it next turn, because we want the Spring Faction Council events. Recruitment bonus. Yes, we are recruiting quite a few, so we're actually going to swap back to General of the Left first. We cannot switch back to the one that we already had on the same turn, so we're not going to have the upkeep discount until the turn after, but that's fine. Just want to maximize that discount. And it's time to pick up our Qingzhou units. For the front line, since there's no range in this army, we're fine without shield units, and we already have 2 potential spear guards here. So we're just going to go with the more damage heavy choice. These are really good value. The recruitment cost is really low. Of course, a lot of this is because of discounts we're stacking, but it's still really worthwhile. And these units really fight well against infantry. So a good amount of anti-cav, anti-infantry, cavalry just king in 3 kingdoms. So this is great setup. They're going to run over here. We're not going to recruit this turn because we want those title boosts as well. But eventually we want to give them an army to start fighting down here. Now, because of the development, Yuanshu is not next to us. We're just going to declare war against him next turn to keep things historical. But we have plenty of time to build up in this area before we actually have to go fight him. So we don't have to rush any of this. Oh, Chen Gong. Someone who did work for us during this period and will betray us in 194. If we can capture him, that would work wonders for us. They are bringing a trebuchet. Interesting, interesting. Well, we have time to look at each other in the face for a little bit before we decide what to do. They're going to go here to protect that. We're not really in a rush to give them a full unit, since they would just be stationed over here for a little bit. We have a very expensive general, so we can technically lower his upkeep with a new scheme. But I don't really want to do this right now. It's not that important. His retinue is not that expensive. We're going to have some very expensive cavalry retinues in the future, and that's really where we want to discount things. Upgrading this twice to get another slot for private workshop. It's a little slow, a little expensive, especially if we don't have administrator. Might do this instead and wait for the administrator later. This doesn't pay us back. Okay, if we're casting a long line all the way to Guandu, then we want Xu Yu right now. He's the man who's going to sell out Yuanshu and tell us where Wuchao is so we can burn it down and win the Battle of Guandu. But we would have to pay him 90 gold per turn. All the way out for the next 6 years. Cao Cao knows him. They're good friends from their school days, which is why he decided to betray when things weren't going well for his family and clan. Yuanshu had too many competing strategies. He was losing favor. Seeked a better future for himself, at least for a little bit. He overplayed his friendship with Cao Cao. Didn't treat him like a lord. Was very high off of his achievement of helping Cao Cao win the Battle of Guandu. And it eventually backfired. We also don't kill Liu Dai. Liu Dai gets killed in, I think, by rebels in this period. By the Qingzhou Army Corp. He's the previous prefect of the Yan province that didn't listen to Bao Xin and went out to fight Yellow Turbans and got killed. Not going to happen in this case, but we'll keep him around for now. We're just not going to do anything with him. Okay, Gongsun and Yuan Shao is going at it. Very historical. We have our faction council now. We're gonna fill the our lovely Whittle. Oh, Zhangji, she has the right historical marriage. He's not dead yet. But we can snatch her right now and just stash her as a quote-unquote concubine. Lu Kang, the grand uncle of Lu Xun, fights Sun Ce in a few years. Cao Jun, not related to us. Oh, Zhangji's also here. We're only going to recruit your wife, who has this artwork because of the MTU mod. And she has some unique abilities as well. She's also a strategist. So maybe we add her into Cao Cao's army for now. Eternal Beauty has some faction-wide effect just passively. So as long as we have her, we have -1 satisfaction. We do get 700 population growth. It's not nothing. And then all the commanderies also suffer -1 public order. Yeah, you know, girl trouble. We don't need any of these. She's not a spy. She's willing to spy, and also she had a grudge against her former faction. She gives us Wisdom River. Lament. What? Of how we got our sons killed because of this. Let's see. Increased damage. Target generals, increase attack rate, immune to fatigue, but they berserk. Okay, I mean, it's not terrible. Especially if they're in a duel. Doesn't matter if they berserk, they'll just fight. Fatal Attraction, 1 use only, increase their fatigue and immobilizes them for 20 seconds. Definitely a little sexual here. Another rank up. We're gonna make him assignment heavy probably, but just grab the bottom of the roll here. I think we do add her into the army. She also comes with a Xiliang Cav. Grab some extra trade influence. We could also alternatively grab another administrator slot. We have Luan that needs build up. We could use a little bit of discounting, but we don't have another Sentinel. Commerce income boost, level 3 building unlock. This is going to be more immediate. We're not going to get to level 3 in most places, at least in this year. Do we keep the Xiliang Cav? That's the question. As good as, you know, it's a great unit. Faction Unique will never be able to recruit it again. But on a strategist, really not gonna shine. Back to General of the Right. Now, can I snatch General of the Left from him? That's gonna be better for us if we can do the replace. No, we can't, so we're just going to have to let that go on cooldown, maybe recruit a turn later. Over here. We don't have to recruit this turn. We do have to declare war. We do have to assign someone to grant excellency. Man. I think we just throw Xiahou Yuan in there. It's plus 12 points. Oh, she has a high desire for higher office. Okay, I'm going to throw her in there just for the satisfaction boost, because we're also probably going to make her get divorced. We're paying for it, but it's okay. Divorce that man. And we'll keep her around as a side chick. Yeah, she's going to be in that position. We're going to shift the positions a little bit. Oh, we can create a scoundrel. We can reroll the trait. I think we do that. Even though we might have a chance to steal Li Bu here, we have other ways of lowering his satisfaction. I'm sure there's a chance we can get him to leave. Now, if we can recruit him, and then release him as a vassal in Xiapi, we can create his faction and then create the betrayal, sort of, and fight him eventually. So it's not a bad outcome. But we really want to get rid of this trait. We can wait till next year. We still have a full year to do this. This means he already has low satisfaction, or else this wouldn't be available. Ooh, let's do the build up and don't. This is perfect. Great choices for this round. He's now resourceful instead of being disloyal. Picking up quite a few blue traits. It's a little weird because he's a champion, but we're okay with that. Maybe Azure Dragons in the future for him. So at least those cunning has some value. Now don't get extra building slots and faster builds. We are gonna upgrade it, grab another slot, and then do private workshop here in the future as well. Really speeds up our build, but our cash is going to be a little strained, especially since we're trying to build a second army as well. So definitely wait a turn for that. Try to get as much discount out of that as we can. This is just going to be this upgrade first. We do have a minister there. Staring contest between the two. We have more mobility than they do, so we can take first action. And we just kind of wait here until we can recruit next turn. Hopefully we save up a bit more. Yeah, there's nothing that's pressing. The only thing I can think of is now that we know Lu Bu is not super happy, we can maybe use this. Okay, so he's not low enough to be selectable here. Xu Rong is the general who beat us, but he's going to get killed in the Civil War historically. The former wife, she would be a family member, so if we can snatch her, we can do a lot of stuff internally, like assassinating Dongmin. Dongmin does die in the Civil War afterwards too, so if we need to do that, we will do that. She's still not available, not low enough, or maybe the trait's just not gonna get her to flip. But we'll see. We'll keep trying. Any other deals we can throw in here? 0.4, 0.5. Yeah, barely anything. We're just gonna keep things going then. Oh, we forgot our war declaration. Grand scheme of things, not gonna make a big difference. Since we don't border him, it's not really gonna be a direct fight. Do we even have vision of him directly? Right, we don't. So we technically can't. We didn't break any rules. We don't see him, so we can't actually declare war against him. But we'll advance towards him now. Oh, that's nice. So what we can do here is snatch up this, since we're the ones doing the recruitings now. And she can snatch up this. The more instinct you have, the more recruitment discount you have. There is a small chance of boosting a little bit. It's not worth it. We're gonna give Dianwei a title as well. Actually, we should give her a title. And then use available scheme on her later. But she's super expensive right now with the positions. After we recruit, we're going to shift into Chancellor before the end of turn. Oh, we do need front lines here. Interesting. So do we can go 2 Spear Guards, which is like the minimum front line that we can go with, and then just go with lots of Qingzhou units. We're going to get a few trebuchets. Does she have fire? She does have fire arrow, so archers would be probably what we will go with for now. And then we go double trebuchets. We upgrade these to Onyx Dragons later. Our cash is completely drained. If we do 2 more cavalry, we are going negative income. I think it's fine, actually. We can now raise tax rates as well. At the cost of public order issues. We don't raise it this turn. All the buildings are queued up. We don't want to ruin our mustering, so we want to delay that a little bit. Let's just go full. We'll fix our economy other ways. I believe we can lose the title without hurting her too much, since she has so many great things going on for her. So perfect. And then we save 100 there. And then we shift the courts. I don't know why it's not... There we go. Which gives us a little money back from the peasantry income. It's a lateral shift, doesn't do anything with him. And then we just have to use the armies to get money back. We'll attack them next turn. Should be close enough that we can use it. They're just going to defend. We'll take care of the rebellion 2 turns, and then we can raise the taxes next turn, and we'll be okay. Yeah, kind of pushing it, but I think we'll be okay. Level up on Lady Band. We get an extra assignment. We don't have another character to do assignments right now. Everyone is on the field. And I don't really want to just recruit one randomly. So we'll wait. We'll wait patiently for someone to join us. I guess to make things work, we have to start our war with He Yi to get vision of Yuan Shu so that we can declare war with him. Ah, Anguo. The latest addition in the MTU mod. A Romance of the Three Kingdom character, not an actual historical character. Doesn't work for us. We don't have to care about him. She left! I wanted you to be a turncoat. I didn't want you to leave. She might be carrying items. She was a former family member. Well, he's carrying a really good item called the Big Mace. And we might be interested. But like I said, he's not really historical here. So we're going to skip on him. Someone can enjoy his item and we can fight whoever gets it. Gonna go for water clock for replenishment for this army. We're gonna jack up the tax rate, which solves this problem for now. Rebellion next turn. That's perfect. We want the rebellion next turn. And we want this fight now, as we can take Sap Heat. And potentially set up a scenario where we can pick up Lu Bu and grab him. We also want to grab Chenggong here if possible. We're not going to keep Sap Heat long term, so when we do occupy, we can definitely use the sack option. I mean, the reason why Cao Cao massacred so much of the Shui province is for money. He recently got a army that he really can't afford in terms of food and wages, basically. So the best way to take the wealth of the Shui province is to use the excuse that your father's dead and you're not happy with them. So you kill all of them. They have a trebuchet. We have to rush up, I think. Can we get a fight? No, he's scared. They're trying to hit the cavalry. It's going to hurt, but cavalry is probably the best option to get hit if we're going to get hit. We might have to loop farther because they do have some crossbowmen. I mean, with trebuchets, we can just charge in, just make a mess of things with our generals, and it's not going to hurt us that badly. I'm going to find a gap. As long as we don't get dismounted. They're not braced. Alright, so right now they did use Wisdom River on us, and that hurts. And we don't want to get charged during this time. If we can get out of here and just basically waste their ability usage, we'll take that. Oh, lonely archer. And ready kind of close the gap. 3, 4, wrong numbers. Lock that group. Charge command. Then we'll just unlock that. Still no dueling. Alright, make quick work of that. Screen the cavalry. We'll hover in the back. There's no good targets right now. I want to get on the cavalry here. Now, the reason why the Qingzhou units are decent, I mean, first, they're really cheap. And then they have a thing called Misplaced Devotion, which allows them to double their damage and kind of fight to the death when their morale is low. And then if you're able to bounce back from that, as in after your time, you're also unbreakable during that time. So you can see they're shaking right now. Once they start shaking, they activate this. They become glass cannon, but you're guaranteed to get damage out, which is what you want. We're looking for a lot of flanking angles with our cavalry, with our generals. Throw some units in there. Try to kill him. We throw you here. Alright, if they bounce back, that ability can be used again. Alright, he's on foot now. Let's just peel. That guy's not going to be useful here. Yeah, we have them totally overwhelmed. Escort them away. Here, chase after their strategist. Alright, we should be good. We might have a few over-chased cavalry units. Yep. Make sure we get them back on track. Alright. Chain route over here. Alright, we should be good. We don't actually have to kill anyone. We're looking for the capture. It's a garrison fight, so everyone will be killed anyways. Who's not done? I think it's over. The game's just taking some time to process. I don't think anyone... Oh, he bounced back. He's actually negative 69. There we go. Takes him a moment to realize the battle's lost. We'll take a little extra income. Since right now one of our plans potentially to get Lu Bu and put him here. So we're going to end our episode here. We're going to take the rest of Sapi and we're going to push him to Donghai's county. Take him off his capital. We're doing this a little bit early. We can raise Donghai just to make a statement, but most likely Liu Bei is just going to pick it up, which is fine. Because if Tao Qian doesn't die, how are we going to give, you know, Tao Qian's land to Liu Bei? We can do it that way where we just raise it and then Liu Bei takes it because currently the Han Empire owns that, so they can't really have it. And then we'll basically have Liu Bei sort of in the right place for the next steps. And our army here, after getting replenishment for one more turn and mustering, will take care of a rebel group here to clean out this public order issue for now. And then we'll go to war with He Yi, hopefully exposing us to... I mean, that's Liu Biao. Where is Yuan Shu getting beaten up over here? Like, we can't find him because he's losing. He's losing before we beat him up. Nothing we can do about that. We're still at war with Huangsha over here, but we're just going to keep an army here to keep a lookout. If you call that an army, but that's good enough. So right now, overall, things look pretty good. If we can't find Yuan Shu here, we could go down this way as well, because we need to capture Shouchun for him, and then probably gift it to him so that we can move him to the right place. Because it looks like he needs some help over here. So things look pretty good, and we'll pick things up from here. Until then, bye!